Hello, everyone, and welcome to a weekly message from Jesus. Thank you for joining us. We're in the midst of our Holy Week celebration. This morning, we will have a message from Jesus. Friday night, on Pathway to Knowledge, we will have the two Marys describing the crucifixion as well as a final prayer from our Lord. And then Sunday morning, on a Sunday sermon, we will have an Easter sermon by our Lord himself. So what could be better? Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a great week, and I know that our Father is here and is ready to begin. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it is the week where you commemorate my death on the cross and celebrate my resurrection. They're two of the greatest events that have ever taken place in human history. They changed the path of humans. Before I died on the cross, there was no Christianity. There was the Jewish faith, and yes, they believed in the one God, and they did what they could. But there was no great movement. There was no real truth that was existing in the word of spiritual faith for all the humans at that time. So I chose to return, and I chose to have a short ministry with the people. I spoke my words. I told the individuals what they needed to hear. And then I did what I came back to do. I had a death where people would remember me. And then I created the greatest miracle. And this resurrection, that was the most important thing that I had in mind. It was the most important thing that I had to do. Because in the resurrection, I proved unequivocally that God has incredible energies that humans will never be able to duplicate. In the resurrection, I not only had my soul transformed to heaven, which all souls can do, but I took my body with me. I resurrected. I appeared back to my people, to my followers, my disciples. I told them what I wanted of them. Before my time of passing, I told them that I was going to return. I think they thought that it was going to be another thing like I did with Lazarus, where I brought him back from the grave, but he had only passed recently, and it was very easy. I waited. I made sure that time elapsed before I resurrected my body. I wanted no doubt that I was passed from this earth, and then I created this great miracle. I reappeared to my followers, and I told them, I said, you must deliver my messages. You are all that's left for me now. Of course, I knew that I would be helping to lead for all the future generations of humans. But I had to lay the foundation of faith, and that's what I did. I come to each of you and I tell you that you must lead the foundation of faith. You must follow my example. Now, I'm not saying that you should all die on the cross, but you will all pass from this earth. And when you do, your soul will come into my heaven, and we will tell you what you did right and what you did wrong. I know that those of you who listen, you're people of faith. You take time out of your day. You raise your families to believe in God. You do all of the things that I ask you to do. But in these troubled times, there are many people that are drawing away from the concept of faith and the concept of God. Many people will go out of their way to prove that God doesn't exist because God is an energy. You can't see an energy. Now, I can come back in form and I can show people what I look like today. I've done that on multiple occasions. But I want you to know this. There is no way you're ever going to prove my existence. You can look around and see millions of miracles because I created your planet, all the beauty on it. I created newborn babies. You are, each and every one of you, a miracle. You came from 2 cells, and look what you are now. You're billions of them. Now, how you use those billions of cells, that's up to you because I gave you free will. So it's very simple. You use the gift that I gave you, free will, to live a good life. I don't know why that is so difficult for so many people. I keep saying, don't do anything you don't want done to yourself. What could be more simple? If you don't want anger shown towards you, don't show anger. The chances are pretty good that you'll get away with not having anger shown. Don't show hatred. If you hate, you will certainly be hated back. People don't like to be hated. That's kind of common sense, isn't it? You see, that's part of the common sense that I put into each and every human. I always tell you that you have this spark of energy within you, and all you have to do is rely on that spark for your common sense. I describe that spark as the light in your life that will lead you truly back to heaven and to following me. I come to you now because technologies have allowed us to reach many people in different countries around the world. That is why I sent Barry back to pioneer the use of these technologies. He has done his best, but he still has not been able to reach a huge amount of people. He is using the technique that I know needs to be perfected for the future. Social media, oh my goodness, I watch what happens on social media. It's so sad to me at times. I see our young caught up in doing things because peers tell them to do it. Peers have always misled the young. That's always been the way it has been in the past. Today, peers of the young have incredibly powerful ways of misleading them. They can do social media. They can take photographs and alter them. The ways that individuals can be led astray is almost infinite now, and it's going to get worse. As your technologies grow, you're going to realize more and more ways that people can be hurt. But you also have the opportunity to realize many ways that people can be helped. The future is truly not assured for humans. It's based on their free will and the decisions they make. Today, you have many wars going on around your world. They have to cease. You are wasting the lives of your young men, the great talents that can lead countries forward into the future. I'm going to use Russia as an example because they're having millions of their young men maimed, not receiving the education they should have, because there is a single madman that wants to rule the world. He thinks that the great rulers of the past that conquered other countries, that's the model he should follow, but that's not true. Today, countries are well armed. They were in those days, but there was bows and arrows or spears, so they could do little damage. Today, countries are armed with weapons that are very powerful, and they're going to fight back. Whenever you conquer a people, those people are not going to be happy. That is kind of a basic fact that everyone should listen to. Today, the people of Iran, they've been conquered by religious bigots. The so-called mullahs, the religion people, they say they know it all, but all they know is how to restrict the wonderful people in Iran, how to harm them, how to lead them away from the rest of the world. Time will catch up with them. History will catch up. It is a fact that there is always a time that people overthrow the governments, even though the governments feel they're invincible. It's happened throughout time. Look at the Roman Empire. It controlled most of the known world. It was incredibly powerful. Its armies were feared. They had no problem with brutality. When they differed with somebody, they would kill them. Well, that's not too much different than what's taking place in Iran today, isn't it? Iran just killed over 30,000 of their citizens because they differed with them in opinion, that they tried to show that they wanted to live in the free world, that they wanted to be able to trade, to be with other people, to be normal. So they will pay. We just had the couple of the leaders return, and they were very surprised at what they found here in heaven. They were judged incredibly harshly for what they did to the people. Whenever you harm others, you're going to be judged harshly, especially when you're not repentant of what you did. The mullahs, they're ruining a great civilization. And all of them, when they return, are going to not be happy with the treatment they get. If they're expecting 21 virgins, they're in for a huge disappointment. My lower levels are very huge. It can hold as many of them as they wish to act so that they're sent to those levels. But I'm digressing a bit. This is Holy Week. This is the week where you commemorate my passing on the cross and then celebrate the resurrection. It is a time where I want you to contemplate your future, how you're going to live the rest of your days, how you're going to prepare for your time of passing. You have nothing to fear. Death is inevitable, and death is the path to heaven. When your body passes from your soul, it truly does go to heaven. And that is where they will see all the souls that went before them. They'll be able to see all the great miracles of the dimension that we refer to as heaven. It can be referred to as paradise, whatever, but it's spectacular. Your planet's spectacular. It's beautiful. It has mountains. It has oceans. It has all the wildlife, all the miracles I speak of every week. But it is insignificant compared with the miracles of heaven. That is what I truly want you to look forward to. And when you return, you are going to learn about the karmas you created, how they will affect your future lives, and many other things. But it is nothing to fear. It is the truth. You are simply going to be told the truth. It may be the first time in your life you've really heard the truth. Perhaps you've had parents that have lied to you and told you that God doesn't exist. And you may have tried to follow that path. Hopefully you've understood with your open eyes that the miracles around you could not have existed without a God. But you will be told the truth. You see, the truth is that I died on the cross. I died so that you would remember my passing and so that there would be a resurrection. That is what I truly want you to remember, to honor, to praise, and to wonder. It's the greatest miracle. There's no way that a body can do that. It will never take place again. You can look and see the remnants on the shroud and see what great energy it took to do this. Today is a wonderful day. Even though it may be raining outside, you know that the light will come after the storms. Even though you're in the greatest thunderstorm, you know that soon the darkness will disappear. You can compare your life to living in a storm, but you know that the light of God is always there. It may be behind the clouds, but God is always with you, just the same as the sun will always come out after the storm. The human life is truly a storm today, but believing in me is the pathway. It is the way to see the light. You can see the light through the clouds of life. You may not be able to see through a thunderstorm, but it will pass. Your life will pass just the same as the thunderstorm does. And the great light of heaven is going to shine upon you. So have faith. Know that I truly exist. Know that I'm truly speaking to you. Know all of the things that will make your life so much better. But especially, teach the young of all of these miracles. Teach them the words that I speak. Teach them that to know God is to know the greatest happiness in life. They're going to be tempted. They're going to be told that Knowing their peers is the greatest happiness that they can find. The children of the inner cities, they may think that the only way out of the inner cities is to join gangs, to sell drugs, to do drugs. And the result is never what they're looking for. They will certainly pass from this earth sooner than they should have if they're using illegal drugs. Maybe the violence that is told to them is okay by the peers. Maybe someone will show the violence back of which I speak. Life is truly what you make it. Life can be an incredible miracle, or it can be an ultimate sadness. The first step towards not making a life of ultimate sadness is building the foundation of faith. Understanding that my death on the cross was like this bright light that you remember. You remember the violence that I went through, the pain, and I can assure you that it was real. But the resurrection, that is the light. That is the light of heaven. That is the light of God. That is the light that can lead you to a wonderful lifetime, a great human life. It may not be wealth. It may not be power. But it may be happiness, the happiness of knowing that I truly exist, the happiness of knowing that I will always exist, and the happiness of knowing that heaven is truly your reward. All souls will live forever. The question is, in what realm does your soul live when it's in heaven? When you serve me, you advance. When you do not serve me, you go into lower levels. It's very simple. You see, I want to reward you. I want to reward all of you that take time to listen to me. I want to reward all of you that are not afraid to tell others that you believe in God, not afraid to say Merry Christmas. How can you have Christmas without Christ? I'm still trying to figure that one out, and I'm God. I want you to go forth. I want you to tell others of my words, of my love. You see, I have ultimate love. Even when I was on the cross dying, I did not hate the soldiers that put me there. I did not hate the Jewish priests that put me there. I did not hate anyone, even though I was suffering this incredible pain and my life was being shortened. Because I knew that love is the answer. Love is always the answer, helping others. When you do that, then you are truly following in my light. My light is very simple to follow. Look outside, you can see the sun if it's daytime. If not, you can see the moon. But there's always light. It may be dimmer at night, and that is synonymous with the tough times of your life. But the sun on your planet always comes up, and there's always brightness. There may be storms, but those storms pass. But there is always sun, there is always light, just the same as the light of God will always shine upon you and upon everyone on your planet. Love the miracles that I created. Go for walks. Walk by the ocean. Look at the mountains. Go on mountain paths. Hear the birds. See the animals. These are all things that will help you relax, because today there are many problems that are causing distress in your life. But there's always one light. There's always one God. And that is where you can always turn to find happiness. Contemplate this week. Think about what I went through at the end of my life. But what happened at the end? I faced death. You will all face death. My soul went to heaven. All of your souls will go to heaven. But then I resurrected. I did what no one else, no other energy can ever do. But up until that point of resurrection, I only did what each of you will be doing at your time of death. So do not complicate things. Act simply. Show love. Do not do anything you do not want done to yourself. Know that I am real. Know that I am the miracle of life, knowing that I am the true path. If you do not know where the path is, you will wander in darkness, and the path is believing in me. There are so many people today that are wandering in darkness. They may be the richest people in the world, but they're living in darkness and don't realize it, but they will. Their future lives will be that of poverty because of the karma they create. Go forth and create these incredible karmas of which I speak, and your adventure in heaven will be miraculous, and those karmas will carry forth to your future lives, and they will be so much better for you. So it's really very simple. Show the love of which I speak. Contemplate all of these things in this holy week. I will be returning. On Sunday, I will be doing a message on the morning that you celebrate the resurrection. Tell your friends about it. Listen to it. I think you will all enjoy it. But this is a special week. It truly is. I'm blessing all of you listening, all of you that believe in me, all of you that think of me during the week. So I will be speaking with you several times this week. Thank you so much for listening this morning. Tell as many as you can. The light of God shines on everyone. People just have to realize it. Goodbye. Okay. If that's the way it's going to be the rest of the week, it's going to be pretty spectacular, folks. Friday night will be special on Pathways, and Sunday morning, can you imagine hearing a sermon from Jesus on the morning we celebrate his resurrection? Tune in. All of you can do it. I hope that we hear from all of you, and thanks so much. I know you guys try so hard to pass this stuff on. It's very difficult, but as he says, storm clouds always clear. So goodbye. Thank you for loving God, and thank you for listening. Have a wonderful and blessed Holy Week.